Hello. Oh, wow, it's already recording. Yeah, that's it, right? Good morning. Today's Friday, Funky Friday. Maria Vanga, yeah. Maria Vanga chiming in from Douala, Cameroon. Maria Vanga, so many things in one, but for the purposes of this series, I am just a woman who was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder in 2014, and who is reading this wonderful book, What Happened to You? Series of conversation between Dr. Perry and Oprah. Well, they're the authors of the book, and it's been wonderful. I started reading that book on a Saturday, so tomorrow, Saturday, is going to make it 2 weeks of reading. I had to take a week off because after, did I even read it for a week? I read it for 2 days, and my head was just going all over the place, and I was like, hey, stop, 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 because I read 50% of the book in those 2 days. That's how sometimes I absorb content, and it just kind of, because I actually was reading about myself in those stories and stuff like that. So today's chapter is what we need to do. This is the last chapter, the 10th chapter in this book. And oh my goodness, I don't know if I should be feeling sad that I'm going to finish the book tomorrow. But yeah, you have to read, and then you have to kind of put it into practice or amplify what you're already doing, or stop doing some things, and stuff like that. And as Dr. Perry says, it's not just for the individual, but it's for the collective, and I'm hoping that if each person does their work, then as a community, as a society, well, we are going to live, kind of much more cordially, show each other much compassion and stuff like that. But you have to start with yourself, and that's why I mean, I love the stage I am in my life right now. Like, some people call me self-care queen. I'm all about self-care, self-love, all of that. I can't be a therapist when I'm not in a good place. I have turned down some clients sometimes, or I have, cancel sessions. I just keep it real. Actually, let me tell you why I'm very excited today. My last son turns 12. And this is a very, all my sons are special. I have three, all of them have a story. But this particular one stopped me from committing suicide. So he's like, this is my lifeline. This is like my second chance at life. This is like, and he was in my womb 5 months pregnant. So he's so special. I think he knows that, and he plays around with that sometimes, even not expressly. And yeah, so he turns 12 today. This is 12 years on. And so, of course, it's my birthday too, right? Okay. And then tomorrow, I am a Commonwealth scholar, doing a master's in something, University of Lancaster. And this is my second master's, right? So, the university they usually organize a postgraduate research conference, and it's for PhD students to compete, to la la la. And I told myself, well, whatever, send in your poster and your abstract, and then, well, see how it goes. I didn't run it through anybody. I was just like, they select me, fine. They don't select me, life goes on. And they selected me, for the poster and for the presentation, long presentation. So there I am. I just finished my presentation yesterday. I ran it through the organizers to be sure I know how to do all of those things. So get my anxiety down, and the poster, my son did it, and then I got somebody to, fine touch it and everything. So submitted everything good. So I am regulated. And this is something we need to do. We need to learn how to regulate ourselves. Look, this is what Dr. Perry and Oprah have arrived at, a formula. I call it the 3 R's. You regulate, you relate, and then you reason. Because the brain starts from there. Once something, paf, shut down. That's the only place where it's operating, the primitive part of the brain. And you need to regulate that first before you start to relate, until you get back here, cortex, and you reason. That's why when a child is agitated, there's nothing you can say that would make sense to that child until you can regulate them. And as an adult, if you yourself are not regulated, how can you regulate a child? That is why Oprah says you need to give to yourself, and self-care is not selfish. And if we don't understand these things, then we'll keep beating about the bush. We'll keep pretending everything is okay. We'll keep doing whatever. And there are healthy ways to regulate yourself, to understand what's going on in your life, to deal with all of that. And there are unhealthy ways. So I'm going to read two or three small excerpts from this chapter because I really love the chapter. And then it's also kind of what therapy is about, be it formal or informal therapy. You shouldn't be ashamed of your past and all of those kind of things. So this is what Oprah herself, the queen, says. And this is what I say myself, and in all my books and my talks and everywhere, for example, my poster tomorrow is about doing all I do, mindful of my mental well-being, and my organization. And I take a break, I do stuff, and I'm like, this is it. I keep it real. So this is what the queen says. I wouldn't be who I am without my trauma. Hey, yeah. So I own it. I claim it. Hey, these are words I have used before. My goodness. And by doing that, I believe I have found a way to use it in service to others. Queen, respect, empathy, compassion, and forgiveness. This is what I say. I preach to people. Now this now, Oprah has written it. Okay, so everybody carry it and fly. Queen O has said it. These are all part of the practice that moves me forward in every decision or encounter I experience. All hail the queen. I said I will read it so that people who have watched, people listen. This is Oprah is how old? Maybe 60 something, These are people who have lived. So, oh yeah, you want to be like them? Begin to see. It's not that nothing happened to Oprah. Things happened. Indeed, the first day Oprah left her grandma, went to live with her mother after 6 years sleeping on the same bed with her grandma. That first day, her mother was living with some woman. The woman just looked at Oprah like that and said she will sleep on the porch. Can you imagine that? I cannot. I cannot. And Oprah did. Oprah said she prayed and said, God, send your angels to guide me. And oh, come on now. Come on. Oprah has been raped. Oprah respects you. I will call her name until she will one day know that somebody in Cameroon is calling her name. Hey. So this is what Dr. Perry says. Trauma and adversity in a way are gifts. What we do with these gifts will differ from person to person. Yeah, some have become narcissists. I'm actually working with one and I'm like, I don't know whether we are going forward or we are staying in the same place, but well, what can I tell you? Some have become something else, psychopaths, sociopaths. Frankly speaking, there is a story to each person. Everybody. That's one of the ways I'm concluding my presentation tomorrow is we are more human and share the same human experience than we care to admit. Okay, so that's what Dr. Perry said, and I want to read one last thing that Oprah said. Yes, one last thing. Okay, so this is what Queen O says. Throughout all our many conversations, I keep going back to a show I did with Inyala Vanzant years ago. She said that until you heal the wounds of your past, you will continue to bleed. The wounds will bleed through and stain your life through alcohol, through drugs, through sex, through overworking. You have to have the courage to pull out the wound and begin to heal yourself. So this is the lesson she hopes everyone carries with them from their conversation. We must understand and heal the wounds of the past before we can move forward. And Dr. Perry says he can't help thinking it is the same for the society. But that can only happen when there's a tipping point of awareness of what we have done to ourselves as human beings, of what true human condition is, of what trauma has done to us. Well, that is it, right? That is it. And so Dr. Perry concludes, and I love the way Dr. Perry concludes each chapter like, Our world is filled with so many kind, capable, and creative people. We are a curious species. We will continue to discover, invent, and learn. We can make our world a safer, more just, and humane place for all. And amen. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to read the epilogue and all those other things, and I'm going to do my grand conclusion. And can you imagine? It's going to be 12 episodes actually for me. And all the books I've written have 12 chapters. Like, God, about Jesus with 12 disciples. Anyway, so what do you need to do, right? If you've been watching this, you've been experiencing the reading of this book vicariously through me. I'm not really, I just want to encourage you to get this book. You might not have had some traumatic experiences, so it's not going to shake you up like it shook me up and stuff. But you see the way I'm ending the journey, much better than when I started the journey. So you have to do that journey. You have to do some of these things. Don't be afraid of what you are going to find if you are unearthing your past and stuff. Some people don't want to come to therapy or stay in therapy because it's too painful. Oh no, come on now. Life itself is painful, but we have to live it. Death itself is painful, but we have to die. So that is it, right? That is it for today. And I really wish us all so much. Well, I mean, honestly, I don't know. Maybe some angels will bless me in a way to be able to have a small something for my son today. But I'm bleeding. One broke his hand and I had to take him to the stuff and do plaster of Paris and everything. And so, well, there's no money for birthday party. But let's see how the day goes. Okay, well. So thank you so much, everybody. I'm getting to the end and I don't mind running in for 12, 13, 14 minutes. Let's hope this one is not so long and boring. Tomorrow might not be this long, or it might be is the final one. That's my grandma up there. And I love sitting by my grandma, wearing my grandma. My son will turn 12. That's his joint. I love this. This is my own kind of safe space, my sanctuary, where I deregulate, where I energize myself before I step out into the world. So you need to do something. You need to take care of yourself in one way. You need to do something, right? Okay, I hope I inspire, motivate, encourage people. That's my purpose in life. I hope anyone who has been following my reading journey gets excited enough to get a copy of this book. It's on the Amazon in Kindle and paperback or hardcover. $14 something. Somebody offered me an Amazon gift card, a very dear sister, and I just keep mentioning that, and I'm like, she's so blessed. She'll be so blessed. I'm just so grateful. Okay, until tomorrow. God bless us all.